Welcome back, y'all, to another reaction. So let's watch this video. What will happen to music after TikTok's demise? Let's watch.
If you've been keeping up with the news recently, you've probably heard about TikTok being banned in America just over a week from now. TikTok's potential ban has been floating around the political sphere since early 2020, but it wasn't.
Also, update too. So the whole thing to have it extended to 270 days or whatever, that has been shut down because one of the Senates, I don't remember how many Senates voted, but one of them, basically he didn't support extending it. And so because of that, everybody else agreed except for one, and now it's going to be shut down for real Sunday. Now there's another update that Joe Biden or something is fighting. I don't know. I'm just tired. I'm gonna just wait till Sunday. I'm tired of hearing it's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It's like I'm over it. So I'm just wait till Sunday. I'm not listening to nobody else. Every time there's like some good news, it gets shut down. So we're gonna see on Sunday what happens. That's gonna be the saddest day. Saturday is, I don't know. I feel like all the TikTokers are gonna make like farewell videos, and like you're gonna see people crying Saturday. Like it's gonna be so weird, and then it's just gonna go blank. So we're gonna see what happens Saturday night going into Sunday.
It wasn't until April of last year that America was given the earliest date for when the platform would be banned on January 19th, 2025. That means we're now just over a week away from the ban going into effect, and the narrative has continued to shift on what the fate of the short-form content prodigy is and how this will affect creators and small businesses that have been able to successfully grow their following by leveraging the app's generous algorithm. The app began to really hit the ground running between 2019 and 2020. This is where the content started to branch off from what you would normally see in its adverts back then and grew into what it is today. A platform where anybody from anywhere can create a viral dance trend, become a creator with a loyal fan base, and express their opinions about any topic, no matter how insignificant it could be. And if a user doesn't have any original content to share, they are free to engage with existing content and add their own input on it. TikTok has always encouraged sampling and recycling content to further drive engagement on its platform. This can come in the form of stitches or using specific hashtags that will hopefully rank your video higher in a video poll or the For You page. There are add-ons that can be made to your
I didn't
videos
even think
called
about
sounds
that.
that basically just paste a recording into your video.
I didn't even think about that, and that really helped people with growing their platform. The stitches, being able to like stitch other people's videos, that drives like views to the person whose video is being stitched. So yeah, like TikTok was very like, and it was very smart. TikTok was very smart with how they helped creators grow. You know what I'm saying? And like gain a lot of traction and be in the algorithm. Damn, that's sad, dude.
This is typically
That
used
was
as background
genius.
music or audio that adds commentary for the user to lip sync to. Depending on the sound you're using, this can have a massive impact on the attention your video receives. A trending sound can do a lot of heavy lifting to get a casual TikTok user with no following some decent engagement. Frequent users of the app have obviously caught on to this, and will occasionally take a stab at uncovering the next big sound to define TikTok's homepage for the next few weeks or even months. And of course, music is one of, if not the best utilization of the sound feature. So many new songs have been discovered thanks to creative user-generated content, utilizing a specific part of a song to create entertaining videos that can be shared universally. This of course doesn't just benefit the TikToker using it, but more so the artists themselves. It puts a musician's work on display for millions to hear, and that opens up a huge door for artists big and small to get the eyes and ears on the music they've always wanted. We had artists like Doja Cat feel a nice kickback when her song Say So was given a quirky dance by a popular TikToker. That dance went viral, and the sound has now been used over 7.8 million times. Not every video using the sound is the dance trend, but most of the popular ones are. And there have been plenty of, I hate using this word, classics in the TikTok community that had trends that helped boost the song's recognition and helped encourage those who enjoyed the song to become avid listeners of it outside of TikTok. But not only that, independent artists and less mainstream artists from different corners of the country have been able to build a strong following by leveraging TikTok to make entertaining videos involving their music. With TikTok being more of a short form favored platform, artists can create vast quantities of videos that can tackle different forms of content, from skits to short music videos, and my least favorite form of music promotion, music pandering. Regardless of how you choose to promote your content, you have plenty of opportunities to create a viral video including your music, because TikTok encourages users to post multiple times per day to raise your chances of visibility on the platform. If you continue experimenting and something doesn't work, then that just means you're a step closer to finding out what does. So those who are frequent students of the game have found formats that attract the right audience to gravitate them toward their artistry. So that leaves us with two outstanding opportunities for musicians to gain recognition on TikTok. We have witnessed probably the biggest rise in full-time label-free musicians in the last 10 years, and that can greatly be attributed to TikTok and the platform's ability to get musicians' content in front of users more likely to interact with it. If you're going to be an independent artist and not take the common route of going to LA, performing as a busker until a label signs you, and then handles everything outside of music so you can just camp in the studio, you're given some responsibilities you just can't ignore if you plan on being a musician full-time. Now that you have taken the role of an independent musician, you have now given yourself the responsibility of being your own manager, planning and executing your career goals, the booking agent, scheduling appearances and performances, the distributor, getting your music out anywhere that music can be consumed, and undoubtedly the most essential form of marketing, the content creator. It's without a doubt that social media is the #1 player in music marketing, especially for independent artists. Without it, there's no way of building a brand for yourself, and there's no easy way of communicating with your audience outside of playing shows. Unless you can miraculously sell out a show a day for the next 20 or so years, you better get on social media if you want your music to do anything. Being a content creator is more than just having Instagram on your phone and posting a pic of yourself to your story, telling people, hey, check out my new song I just released. It is a start, but many artists have found much more success by playing multiple parts to craft visually entertaining videos that cater to the people they need to see the content. This requires a lot of extra time and effort outside of your craft, but the return on investment is astronomical compared to artists that don't. It seems that artists have also received the highest ROI from posting on TikTok compared to any other platform out there at the moment. Sometimes people tend to put too much focus into that one platform, and that leads the creator to fall into the whole putting your eggs in one basket dilemma. And that is where a lot of artists and small businesses are starting to feel the effects following the ban of TikTok. It has been estimated that
I feel like that's where a lot of people messed up. They were being fed, because like I said in my other video, the TikTok algorithm was literally feeding everybody. Like everybody could eat. It was a very, very, very generous algorithm. And it seemed pretty fair. Not all algorithms are the greatest or fair. I would have to say that TikTok's algorithm was slightly better on fairness or whatever, but yeah, I feel like that's where like a lot of people messed up. They seen how they pretty much seen how good the algorithm was treating them, so they just got way too comfortable being on one app and not branching out onto like other platforms. Like they felt like they were good just here, just there. Cause I rarely heard anybody like promoting like follow me on YouTube, follow me on Facebook, follow me here, follow me there, in case this app disappears or whatever. People just got way too comfortable in that one spot, and that's not good. It's never good to do that, because you never know when something is going to get snatched away, and it's happening. This is being snatched away. So it's like, now what? Now where you going to go? I mean, you can go to other platforms, but you have to literally start all over. And people are not susceptible to like leaving and going somewhere else. They're not going to follow you on these other platforms. So
a loss of around $1.3 billion in revenue is expected to hit small businesses and creators in just 1 month of TikTok's ban.
This is bad. This is very, very bad.
And why is this just as impactful for musicians? Well, TikTok is a platform where creators and small businesses get the most engagement from utilizing the musical features than Reels and YouTube Shorts do. Now that they are left to focus on building their presence on other platforms, there is much less user-generated content surrounding music. It'll always be there because there are creators that make content based on promoting and reviewing new music, but nothing has been as organic and attractive to a social media or than the way TikTok has capitalized on utilizing music on their platform. Same for the musicians posting on TikTok. If they went all in and built the largest part of their followers on this platform, it will be very difficult keeping the same attention on your name and music on other platforms. Because as similar as Reels and Shorts seem, TikTok users like very different things about their app that the others just don't provide. Without it, it is very uncertain where those users will most likely go. Will they try out TikTok clones that are hoping to jump in its place following its ban? Or will they just choose from Shorts and Reels since they might already had experience with them in the past? It's all very confusing and leaves a lot of the future of short form content in question, but of course this is primarily a music channel, so I want to focus on what this means for music and the artists being affected by this ban. I would have loved to weigh in the pros and cons of this, but it is really hard to find any reason this would benefit an artist in the environment artists are currently operating in. I mean, I guess you could look at it as a clean slate to discover new ways to get your music heard, but that just isn't an easy thing to do, and artists are going to be in a hurry to get a jump start on doing the next best thing to keep their streams and following where they want it. I think it's clear that we will see a larger shift to Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts following the ban. I personally think that Instagram will be a greater focus point for artists moving on from TikTok. I believe Instagram has a greater focus on the influencer side of things and wants to promote the user themselves rather than the content that is being made. That is just off the top of my head, so it might be worth discussing in a future video if there's a short form focus.
I don't feel like, oh god, it's so bad on Instagram. I don't feel like I'm gonna hear a lot of like, or discover a lot of like different artists on Instagram Reels. I feel like it's just gonna be the same recycled songs and sounds over and over and over. TikTok has really put me on to like a lot of different like songs, you know, so I don't feel like Instagram now that it's being banned though, you know what? It might actually change. They might like do some tweaking now that TikTok is out of the way, you know? Mark Zuckerberg, now that he got TikTok out of the way, he might do a little bit of tweaking over there, maybe, but I don't know. The algorithm is just so weird. Like it just shows me stuff that I've never interacted with. So we'll see how that goes.
This platform that provides the greatest ROI for music. We'll have to see what eventually happens with TikTok though. But following TikTok's potential ban, this will affect a lot of artists negatively. If an artist has not been cross-promoting enough and their TikTok followers aren't following them on the other platforms, those people might not jump to the next best platform to search for you because they were most likely following dozens if not hundreds of other users. The odds are not in the favor of the artist unless the follower is really connected to the artist's music. But if they were, it's pretty likely they would have been already following them everywhere else they could, including their streaming service. I'm not trying to be harsh. I really care and the artists out there should too, because there's a pretty good chance this is their livelihood. And I want every artist out there to leave this ban just as secure as they were before it. But it is very possible that future music releases may struggle a bit more without that extra channel to promote on. I do believe already released music will perform just as well as it has because at this point it is now just a track that stands on its own. If people like it, they'll continue to listen to it as long as it is enjoyable to them. So hopefully at this point you have a decently sized catalog that has established your sound and displays your talent as a musician. One thing I'll say is I do believe artists will have to work harder to get people to listen to their music. Remember back when I said pandering was my least favorite form of music promotion? I think TikTok users typically ate that up, and this worked great for artists that were really trying to grab fans from a fan base or genre that might not be releasing music as frequently or that is just not that popular at the moment. Artists will really have to focus on standing out as different and refreshing as possible if they want to grow a following because there is no other platform that really encourages this type of marketing tactic. So while we have just a little over a week before this whole platform is flushed down the drain, I want to lay out some ideas for musicians to minimize the hit towards their following and maintain their music's visibility. In order to minimize the hit to your career, it would be wise to cross-promote ASAP. Let your followers know where else they can find you and encourage them to follow you along the journey because there is going to be much more in store. While you do that, immediately start studying these other established platforms already if you haven't, and start curating content for these platforms while there is still time to get a head start. It might even be worth it to repurpose content you've already posted on TikTok if you haven't already, just to leave a solid picture of what you can provide as an artist while you start to attract newer people. And start to focus on some longer form videos. I've realized that with posting short form content, this comes with short form fans. If the people you're trying to grab the attention
I was gonna
of typically
say,
digest
people's
only a
attention
minute
span
or so
is
of you at a
fried.
time, it is much harder to keep them interested in your next hour-long album. I think building an audience that loves to really connect on a personal level with an artist would enjoy content like pre-recorded performances,
That's true.
Q&As, and maybe even behind the scenes of the creative process. If you want to get even more
That's
personal,
good
there are
advice.
communities that are built in Discord communities or live streams where the artist can speak directly with the fans. This allows for some privacy or another way of gaining publicity depending on the type of clips that can go viral from these streams. Make sure that as an artist who doesn't have a disposable income from a label, that you really try to branch out your income streams. There's Patreon, merchandise, YouTube ads, sync licensing, and so many more. But do what feels right, because from what I've learned about this band is that we cannot rely on only one or two things. But make sure you're focused on quality. Quality fans deserve a quality product. If these people are loyal to you and the message you're trying to spread, be sure to respect them and give them the quality products they deserve. I'm not saying to cater to every request and bend at the knee to them, because at the end of the day, art is king. Create the art you want to create, but if people are paying to get more of you, just be sure you're giving them the best you got. Now, what does this mean for the music industry as a whole? I mean, we're still going to discover new music every day, and trends are going to spark somewhere else. We'll just have to wait and see where the ring of fire lies, but I do believe we may start to see a resurgence in music videos, which would be great because this is one of my favorite ways to promote music. They have taken a backseat since the demand of them has dropped drastically in America, but who knows, it might become a hot topic again. I think a massive shift in building authentic fan bases will be crucial for smaller artists, but industry plants may crop up more than ever, boasting similar images to those of Sabrina Carpenter and Charlie XCX. I just believe that's because they're everywhere you can imagine at the moment, and it's not just for their music, but the persona they portray themselves as online. If this is truly the end of TikTok in America, then we know with absolute certainty that clones are just creeping over the horizon. I don't know if any of these will ever reach the height as any of the big three we see today, though. What TikTok built was certainly one of a kind, and you could honestly point out distinct attributes of a TikTok user that would be very difficult to reimagine from the ground up, especially since the expectations would be set so high and every box would need to be checked right off the bat in order to keep them on the platform. I think we can expect shorts and reels to carry the torch from now on, and who knows, this may encourage some massive
Let's
revamps on
hope
these
so.
platforms to try and recreate the magic that TikTok built on its own. There's still some hope for TikTok though. As of late December, Trump has done a complete 180 on his initial distaste for.
I feel like a lot of these platforms or apps or whatever, or now that TikTok is going to be out of the picture, they're definitely going to take some of TikTok's ideas and try to implement them into their app. Because Zuckerberg definitely did that for on Instagram. He's definitely taking some ideas from TikTok, which is crazy to me.
For the app, and has requested the Supreme Court to pause
But
the ban
actually,
of
I'm not
TikTok
surprised,
to
for
work on a
real.
deal with TikTok's owner ByteDance to sell the platform to an American company to protect
No.
our nation's national security issue with China. China themselves have claimed that the platform posed no threat to America's national security and have gone on record to say that banning the app would even go against America's First Amendment rights of freedom of speech. So it's an interesting case. But I'm curious, what do you think will happen in a TikTok-free world? How will the music industry evolve, and what do you think is the next big thing? To both the music industry and creator space, it's uncertain. I don't have the answers, so we're left to wait patiently until January.
Yeah, I don't know
19th.
neither,
So
honestly.
until then, I guess we'll find out.
I don't know. Because TikTok put a lot of people on, as far as like artists, small artists, SoundCloud people. Oh my God. I feel like the SoundCloud like artists really benefited off of TikTok. So damn, what's gonna happen with that? Like, because I don't have SoundCloud for real. And a lot of people that I've come across are like SoundCloud artists. Like, I like you know what TikTok really did? You know the whole Jersey mix shit? TikTok put me onto that, bro. Oh, I'm gonna miss the Jersey mixes. I'm gonna miss a lot of the remixes that were popular or that would like became popping on TikTok. Like, but Jersey mix for sure. Like all the little DJs and stuff putting their remixes to a popular song on TikTok. Dang. I never thought about like the music side of it. I just thought about like, you know, regular creators, whatever, making content. But that's also true. TikTok is going to affect music. A lot of artists, even big artists, relied on TikTok to, you know, get their music popping and charting. So I don't know. We're going to see. This is going to be crazy. This whole ban. Leave some likes and comments down below. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you on the next one. Toodles.